Welcome to the GCN Tech Show. This week on the show, it's myself and Ollie.
And we've got a jam-packed show featuring new bikes, new gear mechanisms, new lightweight wheels, new tyres, your upgrades, the Bike Vault, and our main talking point, the worst cycling adverts of all time. Adverts that are so bad, they're great. Cycling adverts. Over the years, there have been some great ones, but there's also been many hilariously rubbish ones. Some of them are so bad that they're actually really rather quite good. So myself and Conor have put our heads together, which was actually quite difficult. I mean, I had to use a stepladder, and we've come up with some of our favourites. Sidi makes beautiful cycling shoes. The Italian kicks are loved by the pros and lusted after by us mortals, but their adverts can often be quite strange, such as this one featuring a greased up and naked Pippo Pozzato, who poses just with a pair of Sidis to cover his modesty. Which was then followed up by an equally bizarre advert, which could have, well, seamlessly slotted into any episode of The Mighty Boosh, in which Ivan Basso cooks up a pair of Sidis and then serves them to Vincenzo Nibali on a silver platter. I mean, it's weird, but it's equally great. What about you, Conor? What pops into your head?
Well, the first name that springs to mind when we started discussing this is, without a doubt, without hesitation, Mario Cipollini.
Oh, yes. Chippo. Mario Cipollini. He, without question, loves any opportunity to publicise one of his new bikes. And it usually involves him stripping completely naked, lathering himself in baby oil and posing on said bike, which happens to be an incredibly effective way to make any bike very desirable, as this image of Conor Dunn will demonstrate. Oh my God! I mean, that image is like the girl emerging from the well in The Ring. Once it's in there, it's not going anywhere. It's in there forever. You're never gonna unsee that.
Thanks, Ollie. Cipollini also created this advert to publicise the release of a new Bond road bike. They created a 10-minute advert in which Cipollini is looking like a kind of James Bond-esque superhero, getting away from the baddies with a secret plan containing all the blueprints to his latest road bike, with the baddies fiercely chasing him. And you know what? He wasn't wearing a helmet either. I mean, I can't quite tell if it's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek. This is the same guy who turned up at the Tour de France in a chariot whilst wearing a toga. Yeah, I can't really tell. And I'll tell you what, it looked like the advert cost quite a lot of money to make. Sagan has done some classics too. My favourite one has got to be Sagan versus Grandma Joan. Although in hindsight, it does raise the question of who would win in a race, Hank's dad or Grandma Joan? Tough one, isn't it? But you know what would be even better? A 2-up TT with Grandma Joan and Hank's dad. That's got to be done. How can we make this happen? I tell you what though, in balance, there have been some other great ads in addition to that Sagan versus Grandma Joan ad. And one of my favourites has got to be the 2012 Garmin Winter Training ad with Christophe Lemavelle.
Yeah, it is a great advert, that one. I remember it well. Incidentally, the rather cool chill-out ambient music on that advert is a piece of music called Pet Keepers from the BBC series Human Planet. But also, I'm a big fan of the Skoda adverts that have been used in Tour de France coverage of recent years. There's a 2011 advert, which is called Torture Test, and it depicts Skodas, which were for many years the butt of all automotive jokes, to be really cool and rugged cars. So the advert features Skodas driving in the race convoy, following the Tour de France, getting absolutely battered around, crashing everywhere, just getting totally abused, making them look really cool and rugged. And my favourite bit is, towards the end of the advert, when the bonnet of a Skoda is used as an impromptu massage table. If you watch the advert, you'll see what I mean. Captures the energy of the race. Well, they were our immediate thoughts and picks as to sort of our favourite bad cycling adverts, and, well, good ones as well. But let us know in the comments what your favourites are, and if there are any great ones that we've missed as well. We might read a few out next week, because I think that'd be quite good fun. Oh, I just remembered the Merida one as well. More bike. That was a good one. First up in Hot Tech this week is this absolute weapon behind me. It's just arrived here in GCN Megabase HQ today, and I'm going to be doing a video on it in the near future, but I'm so excited about it, I had to show it to you because it's the new Ridley Canzo Fast, an aero gravel bike, and it has got some seriously innovative and very cool drivetrain tech on it as well. Now, first up, Ridley isn't aiming this bike at everyone who wants to buy a gravel bike. It is for those who want to ride a gravel bike as fast as possible. Riders who are going to be trying to be competitive in events such as the Rift in Iceland that I was lucky to have a go at. It's also aimed at people who want to not feel at an aero disadvantage when riding their gravel bike on faster sort of tarmac surfaces as well. And consequently, it has a lot of aero features that have come from the Noah Fast aero road bike that Caleb Ewan famously sprints on. So you've got, the drop stays, the integrated cockpit, and these sort of aero tube shapes all over the place, but loads more tyre clearance. But what is really exciting about this bike is the drivetrain. Now, you may remember a few weeks back on the GCN Tech Show, we did a main talking point on a new type of hub called the classified hub, which has wireless internal gears on the rear hub. Well, this is the first bike that features that system. It means you can do away with a traditional front derailleur and just run a one-by setup, but still have 22 gears. So we've got this paired with the Shimano GRX rear mech here. And well, there's a number of advantages, according to Classified and Ridley, with this system. One of them, notably, is that it's much better, apparently, at shifting under load. And I'm really excited to see how this actually works and give it a go out on the road and make a video for you guys about it. So stay tuned for that.
Goodyear have released their latest advancement in tyres, again in partnership with Rubber Kinetics. Their new tubeless complete tyre sees all the benefits of a tubeless ready tyre, but it claims that it will hold inflation better than a traditional TLR tyre. A multi-compound material is added to the tyre casing, which allows for improved air retention, minimising the risk of punctures and cuts to the sidewall, as well as the fact that it minimises the increase in weight. Supposedly, sealant will leak from the sidewalls less as well, so it won't evaporate from inside the tyre as much. Goodyear also released 3 new tyre models. Now, first up is the Eagle F1 and F1 Super Sport Tubeless Complete tyre, which is aimed at racing and contains a graphene silica rubber road compound, which they claim delivers 10.1% less rolling resistance. They also released the Vector 4 Seasons, designed at riding in those harsh conditions and for good performance in the rain. And lastly, they released their Eagle Sport tyre, which is an ultra durable but good value tyre for all conditions. The Bontrager Aeolus RSL line was released a few months ago. It was a super lightweight wheelset designed for the road. Now Bontrager have released a clincher tubeless and tubular version, which is designed for cyclocross and gravel riding. The Bontrager Aeolus 37V RSL is a wider rim than its road cousin, however it keeps that 37mm rim depth, and it retails for $2,400 US. The clincher tubeless version weighs 1,355 grams and is optimised for tyres anywhere between 35 and 50mm, so gravel tyres. Now, the tubular version weighs 1,250 grams and is optimised for cyclocross riding, so it's best to use it with tyres that are anywhere between 28 and 33mm in width. Now, both wheel sets are disc only.
And finally, in hot tech this week, Italian brand Vilia has launched a new, more affordable version of its aero bike, the Cento10, or 110 if you want to sound sophisticated, or like Alan from GCN Italia, or as I like to call him, Alan. Anyhow, it's called the Cento10 SL, and it's the same shape and uses the same moulding technology as the top of the range Cento10 Pro model, but it utilises a slightly less sophisticated carbon fibre layup, which results in a slightly heavier bike, around 150 grams heavier for an equivalent size, according to Vilia, but it will be considerably lighter on your wallet. Another key difference is the integrated modular cockpit from Ritchie, which features a separate bar and stem and looks very neat, still does a great job of hiding all the cables, but again is a cost saving over the fancy one-piece integrated carbon bar and stem that's found on the top of the range model. The SL is available in a range of builds with different group sets on, and the pick of them is probably the 105 equipped model, which starts from £2,430 or €2,700, which is an attractive proposition, I'd say. And myself and Hank actually did a ride on the new Wilier Cento10 SL last week, hence why I wasn't on last week's show. We did an epic coast to coast, so stay tuned because there's a video coming out on that this weekend. In the meantime, you can vote hot or not, the new Wilier Cento10 SL. What do you reckon? More hot tech next week.
Right, it's time for screw riding upgrades by upgrades, where you guys submit your best upgrades that you've made to your bike or your cycling equipment for the chance to win the best prize in cycling. Yep, you know it, a GCN cap. Now, we've had some great submissions this week, but before we go into them, let's see who won last week's poll and who gets that all-important prize of a GCN cap. So, I'm not sure if you can remember, but last week we had Gavin Dempsey's restored Muddy Fox Courier Singer Speed, and we had Henrik's Trek FX Garage to Gravel Bike project. Now, I was especially a big fan of this gravel to gravel bike project, and I think everyone else was as well, with 69% of the votes on the GCN app. So, Henrik, cap's on its way to you. Okay, right, on to this week's upgrades. I tell you what, we've got some crackers this week, some proper old bikes which have been upgraded and look absolutely amazing. It's gonna be a tough battle, I think. So first up, we have Floria Nicole Alex, who has this old Peugeot frame which he bought last year. It's a 1979 Peugeot bike frame built with Reynolds 531 tubes, but it became my lockdown refurb project. Removed the stuck seat bow, stripped the old paint, resprayed it. Shimano 600 brake levers with 105 7-speed group set. Original Stronglight TS crank and chain rings. Upgraded the BB to a Shimano BB UN55 with sealed bearings. Sella Italia turbo saddle, original ATEX stem 80mm, and Franco handlebars. Shimano WH6600 wheel set with Dura-Ace 10-speed cassette and chain. And he managed to tweak the shifter in friction mode to index all the cods, and very proud of himself for that. And I'll tell you what, I'd be as well. Looks like a fantastic restoration. Fair play, love that one. Good luck, be interesting to see how it fares in this week's poll. Okay, right, next upgrade to rival that restoration of the Peugeot, and I tell you what, this is a cracker too. This one is from Chris Bellew. Thanks for the submission to the upgrades. And I tell you what, I love this one. Absolutely fantastic. Chris says he spent a whole year restoring this one, so I think just for effort alone, I think we kind of deserve a bit of a vote. Now, there's some beautiful features on this bike, on the finished product. Tell you what, I love the tan sidewalls and I love that colour on the frame. I'm not even sure what the colour is. Is it like it's like a steel blue? Steel blue, steel grey? Let me know in the comments. I like the white sort of just before the motor became, and I especially love the chain set. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, stunning bike. I miss seeing so many spokes in wheels. Do you? I think I do as well. Brilliant. Love the cables over the top of the bars as well. Now this one is a nod to John Cannings, apparently. So there you go, John. Chris has been inspired by you for a vintage restoration project. And well, I'll tell you what, Chris, it's in the screw riding upgrades by upgrades section. So it'll be interesting to see how it does in the poll. So get voting, everyone, on the GCN app. I'll be really interested to see who comes out on top on this one. Gonna be a battle, I think. So get voting away.
Time now for the bike vault, my favourite part of the show. If you're unfamiliar with how this goes down, or you're a first-time viewer, where have you been? Well, what happens is you submit pictures of your bikes using the GCN app, and we cast our judgments as to whether they're nice or super nice. If they're super nice, we ring the bell and they go in the vault. Now, if you disagree with our judgments, well, you can vote for yourself in the GCN app as well. And first up this week, we've got this bike from Henrik Jonsson. who has submitted his Focus Isalco Max. Big fan of the Isalco Max. That's the old classic top tube one without the dropped stays. I just love the classic lines of that road. Very light bike, very light fork on the old Isalco Max. It was the envy of the bike industry, how light they made that fork. I mean, that's a beautiful matte black bike. I love the tan sidewall tyres on there as well. They set it off. Very light SRAM ETAP groups that like the SRAM chain, but speed play pedals as well. But there's a few issues here, such as the chain. I mean, you're not in Biggie Smalls. You've taken the bike at a jaunty angle picture. I mean, it's not selling it. You've got your chimney going on there. What is that crank arm position? I mean, you've got such a beautiful bike. I love your bike. It's amazing. But what? You just... Nice. Next up, we've got F. Bruxell, who's taken this sunrise solo ride shot while on holiday on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. Check this out. It's his Giant Defy Advanced Pro 1. Do you know what? That's nice. I like that. That is, I mean, you're a bit far away. I can't quite see all the details of the bike, but it's a very beautiful photo. And quite a nice paint job on your bike. I can't see it in great detail. Forgive your crank arm positions. I mean, it's a really nice bike. I mean, do you know what? All right, I'm in a good mood this week. That new Ridley's put me in a good mood. So we're going to ring the bell. Also, you may have noticed we're in a new set now here at GCN Mega Base. It's a bit more roomy than the last one, so I'm going to make use of the room. Super nice. Next, we have got Jay Cooling, who has submitted his Trekmadone SLR, which is very much like the Trekmadone I used to have, which I had to give back to Trek, unfortunately. Same sort of paint job on there. I mean, that is it's super nice, isn't it? Oh, God. Gold chain, tan sidewalls, valves lined up. That paint job. I mean, there's a bit of chimney going on, but I'm going to forgive that. He's modified the bar tape, Supercaz bar tape on there. It's what we like to see. I like it when stuff isn't stock. When you've got to, you know, for me, for it to be a super nice, you've got to have added something to the bike that's not just stock, which we've got here. Also, a fantastic bit of shrubbery in the background, although I would say that your fence does require a bit more Ron seal on there. It's looking a bit patchy. Anyway, we're not here about the fence, we're here about the bike. Oh, I think I slipped a disc. Super nice. And next up we've got Anne-Laura08, who's in Ecuador. Wow. I mean, he could be anywhere because we can't really see the background, but wow, look at that. That is, I mean, this is someone that knows that their bike is so nice that they're just flaunting the rules because I mean, that's just, it's a little bit arrogant that they've left it in Biggie Big because they're like, I mean, look at my bike. It's got gold on it and it's black and it just looks amazing. So, of course, I'm going to get super nice. Oh, and you're kind of right. You've kind of got me there because it is really nice. Oh, I'm torn. I mean, I want to give it a super nice, but the flagrant disregard of the bike vault rules is just tearing me apart. Oh, it's a super nice. Okay, this is a super nice. CW Grouper has submitted his Quarantine Machine here, which is a Cannondale Super 6 Evo. Wow, I had one with that frame on as well for a brief period. No, I didn't. My Cannondale logo wasn't red, it was black. But that, oh, I like it. Classic. I mean, I'm a sucker for the classic straight top tube frame design because we don't see those anymore, which is sad. But you're ticking all the boxes. I mean, in your description, CW Gropper. You've said, she ain't much, but she's mine. Look, she is much. She's a blooming lovely bike. Oh, that is without doubt super nice. More Bike Vault next week. Unfortunately, it's nearly time for the end of the show, so I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you'd like to support what we do, then, well, you could consider giving the video a like and also giving us a follow. It really does help. And if you're into bike racing, which I know many of you are, then I'd also highly recommend you check out the Race Pass in the GCN app. It's a great way to watch bike racing and also catch up on all the highlights and much more. But until then, I'll see you next week, hopefully. And in the meantime, I'm going to go have a go on that classified hub. I'm actually really excited about it. Bye.